It's Off Exit 10, presented by Capital District Sport and Fitness.
Oh yeah, just because my chair is adjusted higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you look huge over there.
I do it so
He's got a booster seat.
so I look taller than Paul.
You got the same chair we do, right?
You have backs on it.
His is a stool. Yours is a.
Ooh.
I give you two the
Posture
back
check.
support.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I haven't grown since 8th grade. I'm quite sure, not an inch.
I don't think I've grown since 9th. So.
Oh my gosh, I just got both ears.
Oh, you didn't have them before?
I definitely have them now. Yeah.
He goes, oh, whoa.
So if you
Welcome, Mike.
if you ever lose that, just tell Jordan, and then he'll fix them both.
What a production we got,
Gotta walk in.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan on the
Let's
production. But I really don't think I've grown since 8th grade a single inch.
You know, I thought I would grow like after high school, and I didn't. So
We had friends that did.
yeah, you always hear the stories.
Yeah, I remember one of my kids in my grade. I was taller than when we graduated. We came back from freshman year, and he was taller than me, and I was not happy about it. I was like, dude, I was taller than you my whole life until now.
Yeah. Did you two play together or against each other ever, or no? Different years.
We played against each other. I remember there was one game, Dan and I were both pitching high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Senior year, right?
Yeah, it was junior or senior year, something like that.
Oh, maybe it was junior year.
And I remember I hadn't seen him in a long time, because maybe like in Little League a little bit.
Yeah.
And then like high school, we faced each other.
Yep.
The heater's good. The heater's really good out of the right arm right there. So I was like, it was a 1-0 final.
Yeah.
We scored on like some crazy stolen base, pass ball, something like that. But it was just pitcher's duel, 100%.
Yeah, it was a good game though. It was fun.
Yeah, at Troy.
Yep.
The mound's a little crooked. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Because the home plate is like a little bit, was it arm side for a righty,
Yep,
glove
yep.
side for you? Yeah.
Tough to get to the glove side for me.
You know, hey, it happens.
Yeah.
Did the job.
It's high school field, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as good as it's going to get.
Yeah. But boys, I appreciate you both doing this.
Yeah.
You're both here getting after it now, and I think it'll be good. Just like we have so many youth baseball players, and there's so many everywhere, but in the area. But just to talk about we'll talk about your experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll talk about more than that. But just with baseball, growing up, what led you to where you are, decisions that you've made. Let's just give your voices so people aren't watching, they're listening, they know who you are. Kennedy?
Mike Kennedy, born and raised Troy, New York. I'm now with the Cleveland Guardians. I was with the Pittsburgh Pirates for 2.5 years. What else do you think I should touch on there?
I think that's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Keaney of Texas Rangers. Grew up in Guilderland, played for Guilderland High School. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Welcome, boys.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Shout out to Dougie.
Shout out LaValle, yeah. The man right there.
Yeah, but both of you guys went right to affiliated baseball from high school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
When did you both have, and we'll talk separately, have the realizations that you think that's the path for you and the path that you want to take? Like, Mike, you went through, I'm sure you both did, but like the whole college recruiting process.
Yeah, mine was like really early. I think like that's something like I don't regret it because I feel like it was the right place, but I committed like my freshman summer. So it was like I was 14 deciding where I'd go for like the 4 years after high school, and I really still don't really know who I am. So I feel like that's something like looking back on it, and the rules are definitely different now where like guys can only start junior year. So mine was early, but you know, the process was fun. I think like the biggest thing for me was looking for like red flags more than like the glitz and glam. You know, like teams would show you, coaches would show you like, dude, look at all these big leaguers, look at these facilities, look at all these things we can do for you. But for me, it was more like, what would make me hate my life for 4 years? Like, why would I not want to go here? And the place that had the least amount of those was LSU. So I decided early, but I felt comfortable with it.
The rules are different now. You couldn't commit as a freshman.
Yeah,
like
it's
now
like
this
verbal.
year? Right.
Yeah, I think like even back then it was verbal, but like coaches could call you, like you can call, you can text. Like now I think they're like pretty strict with it. I don't know for sure though.
Yeah, there's like there's workarounds with it that people do, but there's like a stricter policy with like when the actual coach can like reach out to the and talk directly to the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you know at 14? Like, how do you know it? You two are both in your 20s. We're in our 30s. I mean, like, how do you fucking know what is best for you and what you want? And they're throwing stuff at you like, this is what it could be. And
yeah, honestly, like, I don't know. I just like fell in love when I went there. You know, like there was a couple campuses I looked at, but like when I went there, it just felt like the atmosphere, the people, the culture, like the tradition, and obviously like Eddie being there now, like he knows a lot about it. But it was just a different feel. It felt like the closest to like a professional team in college sports. Like the fans loved it.
What year did you graduate high school?
22.
And
Yeah. 22.
you were both
same.
20. You were both
Yeah.
22. Yeah, like what was the LSU World Series year?
23 and 25. I would have had 2 rings. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry to bring that up.
No, you're
Yes,
good.
Mike, I would have had 2
Touchy
rings.
subject. Touchy subject.
Do you think about that?
Yes and no. I think like everything is so like when you look back at it, like why I didn't go or why, and we'll get into that obviously.
Yeah.
But like I went down to see Eddie get his ring a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, and like I saw all my buddies I got recruited with, all my buddies that were like there on my visit. It was like a full circle moment for me, but I wasn't bittersweet. I wasn't bitter at all because it was like I was so happy for those guys. You know what I mean? Like I'm very lucky to be where I'm at. They're very lucky to have accomplished what they did. So it was just like I was just like happy for everyone. Even Coach Jay, like when I went up to him, like, dude, I'm so fired up. You told me this would happen. You told me you'd win two rings in our 3 years, and you did it. So I was fired up. Like there's no like hard feelings about it.
Yeah, that's a mature thing. And then, Keaney, what was your process like? You were gonna be Marist?
Yeah. Marist Red Foxes. I started talking to them like probably middle sophomore year. So like I was young. I'm not as young as Mike, but still young.
Yeah.
And it was just a crazy process to me. Like I'm talking to colleges right now. I'm 15 years old. Like I got 2 more years left of high school.
But was that in both of your heads at that age? I mean, it is now. That's how it is with social media and just how recruiting and like I have to start thinking about it. I got to know where I'm going to go and commit once I know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really excited to throw that post up.
Oh,
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
most.
Oh, jeez.
Let me get that edit.
I've talked about that on here before, and yeah, it drives me crazy. But what drives me crazy is like when I put it in perspective, you're talking about 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and of course that's going to make them happy. I mean, we all live, and you guys have grown up in a social media type of society where you feel rewarded and you feel good when people are happy for your accomplishments and you can share them. But like that could be, you feel like one of the motivations for people is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't say it's the motivation, but, like, I feel like everyone's throwing up a post, like, nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, the thing that people are doing. But I would say, I wouldn't say it's a motivation, but, like, when you do it, you're like, oh, my gosh, I did something. But it's, like, you really haven't because, like, there's so many times, especially for me, like, you know, it's a verbal commitment at 14. Like, when I turned 17, 18, it's time to go to campus, like, that offer could definitely not be there. You might not be going there, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's what people have to understand.
I think there's that, and then it's also like because everybody's on social media, so you're the kid who hasn't committed yet, and you see everybody else, and it's like you feel that pressure. Because I see it in here with kids, like, you know, they're stressed because they haven't committed yet, and everybody else has, and I'm like, that doesn't mean that they picked the right spot or that they're definitely going there.
And they're
type
never
of thing.
behind. Like,
And
you
I'm
look at
like,
Scooball and Skeens, you know,
Yeah,
like,
right.
nobody's behind.
No,
Yes.
you'll figure it out, and you'll find the right school. And like I like how you said, like when you went to LSU, like you knew, like just being there, like the feeling. Because I've said that to kids in here is like when you go to a school and you visit a school, whether you're playing a sport or you're not, you're gonna know that you're gonna have this feeling, like this is where I want to be, and then hopefully everything lines up.
Yeah.
Like, because that's how I felt when I visited Cortland. Like, we have a girl in here going to Stony Brook, and I remember when she went on her visit, she was like, I didn't believe you when you said I was going to have that feeling. And then when she went there, she was like, I knew exactly what you meant when I was on that campus. And so it's cool when that happens and whatnot. So, you know, I'm glad that you brought that up too.
Paul loves Cortland.
Love Cortland.
Keaney, you just survived.
Ithaca.
You just survived Cortica.
Yeah, wow, I was there for I was there for that night. Missed the football
Actually,
game. But
I got to do some. Go ahead, keep going. I'm going to do some research here on who won the Cortland Springfield game.
yeah, but wasn't Cortica in Ithaca this year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I went there, and my buddy Nick
Cortland.
Plu goes to
Yeah.
Cortland, and we're all going down there, have a good time, and I'm like, oh,
Where-
so you guys are gonna go watch the game tomorrow, right? And they're like, game's at Ithaca. And I was like,
Keaney, you want me to be honest with you?
oh.
I've been to more Cortica games and not as a student than I was
Yeah.
as a student.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was just crazy to me. I was like, you guys, it's just a day to party and have
A
fun.
day.
Wow, yeah, a couple days.
You
I
were
guess.
only
You
there
can
for a
turn-
day.
Yeah, you can turn it into a couple days if you want.
Shit.
But,
Springfield beat us.
Shout out to Springfield. That's mine.
Yeah.
Then they lost to Johns Hopkins, so
oh, there you go.
yeah.
Oh, that's the playoffs right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the post, though, I think it's more like you have an inkling if a kid's, I mean, you're wrong sometimes, made the right decision or the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I made the decision because I wanted to do it earlier, because I wanted to maybe play at a D1 or a D2, but maybe a D3 would have been a better fit for you.
Especially with the transfer portal.
Mhm.
Like there's just like so much opportunity like to go play and you don't have to like be ready right away. You know what I mean? Like there's development all over the country that you can get better and get in the portal, you know? So
I think the harsh reality too is for kids, it's going to be harder at the Division I level for the 18-year-old to get that opportunity because of the transfer portal.
you got
Like,
a 24-year-old
you know,
fifth year coming in.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this guy's already developed and ready to step in right now to help me win a championship. Like, you know, so that's where, you know, unfortunately with the way the college sports is right now, like a lot of 18-year-olds just are going to have that harsh reality where they're like, shit,
Yeah.
those opportunities aren't there.
And I don't know about you, but like when you showed up your first spring training, like were you like, oh my gosh, these guys are very physical?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like the first day I got to Arizona at the Rangers complex, like I walked up and I was 6'3", like 170 pounds. Like I'm still a child. I was tall, but I wasn't big at all. And as soon as I walk into the locker room, I see two guys that are like 6'5", 230, 240, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
Just
like
benching,
what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
Well, you realize that too, because like even like Pierce was talking about when he was working out here as a athlete,
yeah.
and Tommy Keaney was working out here, and he's like, yeah, squatting, you know, good amount of weight,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, you know, he's like, I got like 405 on there, I'm going down, like feeling good. Look to my left, Tommy Keaney's got 4 plates on there, and he's got a bionic arm from his Tommy John. He's just doing lunges with the same weight,
Yeah.
and he goes,
Different animals.
built different.
Yeah.
Yeah, different
Like
animals.
my last year with the Pirates, Chapman was there. And,
Oh god, it must have been
Oh my gosh. I mean, it would
freakish.
be like 6 a.m. and he's got like 100-pound dumbbells incline benching it for reps. And I'm just like, dude, I hope I hit 65 today at normal.
He's a
But
tank, because how long's he been in the league for?
years.
I think it was like
And his
it
body's
was like 18
changed.
seasons or
I feel
something.
like I was in
thought
high
heard,
school when
or-
Yeah, he's been around for a long
a
time.
long time, and he's been throwing at that capacity 100, 102 for almost 18 seasons now. Like that's insane. Like
And he's done it different ways.
Definition of mass equals gas.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way to do
Yeah.
it.
But, okay, Keaney, so for your Maris, you committed when you were a sophomore.
Yeah, around sophomore year.
Yep.
I think it was sophomore summer, maybe going into junior year. Yeah, and yeah, that was a kind of a crazy process for me because I wasn't really thinking about talking to schools. I knew Dennis Healy, who was my pitching coach back in the day. He was talking to me about schools and like, oh, you might get calls here and there, and talking to different schools. And one day I remember the Maris coach wanted to call Coach Traz. He's at Army now. He's had put together a great program there. He called me one day and was like, we were talking, and then next thing you know, like he was like, all right, yeah, we're gonna offer you. And I remember getting off the phone, walking downstairs and to my parents, and I was like, I think they just offered me to go to Maris. and it was like a complete shock. Like I was like, all right, cool. And they were like, yeah, well, you got like we'll give you 2 weeks for this offer. And I was like, all right, that's not a lot of time.
Imagine that
2
as a
weeks.
15-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Like in the realm of here, whether I'm negotiating with a landlord, other businesses on things, like I feel like sometimes that's nerve-wracking, and I have to really be like, am I listening to everything? What the heck am I saying? You know,
Yeah.
a 15-year-old.
yeah.
There was a couple schools that hit me with that 2-week notice too, and my thought process was like, if you don't know you want me in 2 weeks, like how do I know you want me in 2 years? Like I'm out. Like I'm straight up out. And like it's just like crazy that coaches are able to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you brought up looking for the red flags, and like, you know, for some kids that might be a red flag. And I also am a big proponent when kids tell me that, I'm like, if they want you now, just because they're giving you that 2-week deadline, if they really want you, they're gonna find a spot for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it is. Like
Yeah.
Or
you
even
know?
like when they come at you real early and they give you kind of like a low ball, like hey, we'll give you 30%, and
I mean, you're
figure out the rest.
hey, you're dealing in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah.
going on.
That's what-
at 14, 15 years old.
Right.
It's like,
Like,
you don't
ha-
even know anything.
Yeah, having no counsel is difficult. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
couldn't imagine. You know.
So then you take it and commit.
Yep. Yeah, verbal commitment, so
Right.
it's not nothing set in stone, but verbal commitment, so that's where I would like to go. Yeah, and then, come draft day, or like
Three-
3 draft
3
days.
days,
Yeah.
So we're talking. This is now you're a senior
Senior
in
year.
high school,
Yeah.
and this is draft day, which is the same year you
Same
went.
year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Same year.
June.
Were you
July.
had you signed with Marist at this point yet?
Yeah, that was after.
November of
Right.
of senior year,
Yeah.
and
And-
then draft is July.
Had
So
you
you-
signed with LSU in
Yeah.
November? Is that what guys do? Even if they're
Yeah.
potentially going to
Yeah.
be drafted,
Yeah.
they sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you can go. You
Some
can
guys
commit-
would go to school, like go to school
Yeah.
and use it kind of as leverage. Like, no, I'm at campus. Like, give me 2. Like,
Yeah.
give me 3. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that
this
kinda
is
thing.
business.
and especially
Yeah.
now with NIL, guys
whoa.
are definitely going to be doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Crazy. And with the new rules with like JUCO, like you can go to 2 years
Oh,
of
yeah.
JUCO. And
I
now
don't
it
know if
doesn't-
that's official.
Look it
Oh,
up,
is it
Paul, and
not?
see.
I think that's
I
still.
did see NAI.
I think it's
don't
still.
don't
count.
even count at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was still in the courts,
Oh, okay, maybe.
but it might not be because it has to do with the Vanderbilt quarterback.
But that just speaks to
Pavia.
if
Yeah.
it does go through in the courts, whether it's NAIs don't count or junior colleges don't count. Yeah, even harder as an 18-year-old at a high school to get good looks.
Exactly.
yeah, it's still going through the courts. There's a temporary waiver for this school year, the 24-25. That was done because of Diego Pavia, the Vanderbilt. He's the one that's like fighting.
That means what, Paul?
Theo
The
Von
waiver.
stepson.
That basically they waived there's a waiver for this year for like kids that were JUCO.
Doesn't count.
Well, but like they're still, I believe, going through the courts to like officially make a ruling on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're both signed, and then draft 2022.
Yep. Yeah. And then, I've been talking to my Ranger scout, and he was, thinking about taking me. And I had this conversation with my parents. I thought, like we were planning on going to school, going to get an education. And I had a good relationship with Coach Trez that was at Marist because he'd been talking to me since I was 15. So I felt like I had a good relationship with him. And then come day 3, I got a phone call in the morning from my Ranger scout, and he was like, yeah, what do you think? Like you think you're gonna take it? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm planning on going to school. Like that's been, I've been wanting to go to Marist for a while, and that was kind of my plan since I was 15. Like that was what I wanted to do. And a couple of days after the draft, Coach Trez ended up leaving Marist and taking a job at Army. So that was kind of like crazy.
And
to
you
me.
don't go in the draft. True.
Yeah, nope. Yeah,
Correct.
I was an undrafted free agent, UDFA,
Okay.
and I was like, well, what the heck? Because like
Mm-hmm.
he was kind of the whole reason I was going there. He ran that program. He was there for I don't know how many years, but he was there for a good amount of years and ran a good squad. I remember hearing, and he ended up leaving, and I was like, oh my goodness, like now what?
Yeah.
And then my Ranger scout ended up hearing that, and he was like, yeah, I mean, offer's still on the table. Like, we want you. Like we feel like this would be the best shot for you. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Like,
I mean,
offer's still on the table. You're not going to get that.
right.
Yeah.
And sometimes like, just that's when life throws you those things. Like that's what was meant to happen. And
Yeah.
you luckily you got hopefully end up with a good situation with the Texas and.
But no thought of you of like, I'm going to pursue another college. You feel like it was just so late.
Yeah,
And
it
this-
was just so late. And, yeah, it was just a crazy process. I had so much going through my mind. And
Yeah.
I had so much to figure out.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then you went in the draft, right?
Yeah. My draft process was a little weird because like the whole year like leading up to it, like you always hear like, oh, this is where we're seeing you. Like scouts would come to the house and like I'd meet with them with my family. Like I had the Blue Jays and the Rays down my family's bar. Like we had some wings and like it was like such a fun process. Very different than the college route where like colleges, they know they have kind of leverage over you. The scouts are kind of just trying to get to know you. So you just kind of like talk to them, things like that. But play senior year, I had actually gotten hurt in January, my senior year. And I came back like a little early. I tore my meniscus, like small minor injury. I came back real early. Within like 3-4 weeks, I was throwing bullpens, things like that. And I think that kind of like pissed it off because come combine, which is in June, so the draft gets pushed back to July. That was as of like 4 years before us. Yeah. And I get hurt at the combine. Like my final pitch of the combine, I hurt the knee again, same knee, same injury. And I show up to like the assessment day, the day after, I'm like, I think it's my hammy. Like, I'm good. Like, it's just my hammy. And they're like, well, because you hurt it in January, anything within 12 years of the draft, you have to get a second MRI, like a new MRI. So I go to get the MRI, and I had just heard it the day before. And I'm like, all right, like, dude, I have no idea. So this is in June. I don't find out about the results until like a week before the draft. Why that happened, I don't know. I don't know the process on it, but like, it would have been nice to have known because then I could have, maybe got the operation, things like that. But so I find out like a week before the draft, I have a torn meniscus again. And my number originally was like 2 mil. Like I wanted to go in the second round or else I was going to school. I call LSU and I tell them that I'm like, hey, like, if I don't see this, I'm coming to school. That was before I found out about the injury. So then I find out about the injury.
So in your head, you're thinking obviously a dollar amount for you and your family, and you're like, what's the threshold where it's not worth it to go?
Exactly. But then I find out I'm hurt, like we said about the physicality of like going to an SEC school, trying to play, things like that. I'm like, is that the best route now with this injury? How am I going to pitch in the fall? How am I going to pitch? I got to figure out my health, all this stuff. Pro ball might be more secure. Like they have to develop you if they take you. So then I don't hear anything from the scouts. Like nobody's like, hey, we're out on you. Like, hey, like we saw your injury. Like nobody really said anything. And my agent's like, we'll just find out on draft day. And day one is rounds 1 and 2, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 2. And like we had heard like small talks of second round, like possibility, like with like a, like small overslot deal. But I don't get any calls. And I'm with my family. I'm like, dude, like I have no idea. Like I don't know if this is the injury. Like I don't know what's going on. And then I wake up the next morning. I'm going to get a lift in at like 9, and I get a call from my agent. He's like, hey, Pirates are offering you 1. We're going to shop it the rest of the day. Like we'll let you know. So draft starts at noon on day 2, round 3. Brewers call me. Mike Serbalik, who owns the All-Stars Academy, and he's like, he offers me $800 in the 3rd round. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, like I have a deal for 1. Like I can't do it. He's like, okay, hangs up. Because this is business, Mike.
Is somebody giving you advice in terms of how to handle this from a business standpoint in conversations?
Yeah. So like it's your advisor until you sign, and then it becomes your agent. So like there's just like a handshake deal. Like he doesn't really do anything for you. Can't really give you anything. Just kind of like advice, So Mike hangs up the phone, and that's like business Mike. This is someone who took me in when I was 14.
Yeah, you've known it since you were little.
Yeah. And he like hangs up the phone, and I'm like, damn, like I wonder if he's mad at me. He calls me back like 3 minutes later, and he's like, I'm so proud of you. Like I'm so happy you said no. Like
different version of Mike.
Yeah, exactly. like Brewer's side of him is like upset, but then Mike, the one who took me in and had faith in me, is like, I'm fired up. And then the Braves are like, we got a deal for 1-1. It'll be somewhere in 3 to 5. Like we'll figure it out. And then eventually I'm just like waiting game. I knew the Pirates were slightly ahead of the Braves in the 4th. And then the Pirates took me in the 4th round. I think it was 110, big 110. So it was like a crazy process because like it was the day one, like, dude, like, oh my gosh, like, is this dream going to happen? And then like day 2, you get the call and then you're shopping it and you're like, I have no idea. And I was lucky I had all my friends and family like down my family's tavern. And when it happened on the TV, like it was just like a surreal moment, everything you work for kind of comes into fruition there.
Yeah, that's sick.
So,
but
I was going to say, it's interesting how you talk about the negotiation process during the draft.
Dude, crazy.
Because like when I'm sitting there watching like an NFL draft, right? Obviously like the first round guys, you're just taking it because you're probably getting a healthy paycheck, right? But like once you get to those later rounds, like there is some negotiation. Because I remember seeing stuff with the NFL draft where certain guys were like, is it better for me to go undrafted and pick my team, or is it better for me to get drafted by a team and maybe not make it? Austin Reeves did that.
Is as a high schooler your negotiation different because they know you could just go to college instead? Where if you're a junior in college, it's like you
take whatever you got.
No other chances.
I think that's kind of the thing about, and the Pirates like were really big on that. Where like the year before me, they took, I don't know if you remember Henry Davis. They took him in the first overall pick, and and like people were like surprised. They're like, oh my gosh, like he wasn't mocked there. But like the business side of the MLB draft is every pick has a slot value. You can take a college guy who has not as much leverage, and you give him an underslot deal. Now they go get Bubba Chandler in the 3rd round.
An underslot meaning less money for what that slot is really worth.
Correct. And then that gives them more money. So like for me, they took Pirates took a college guy in the 3rd round. And I think they took college guys early, and then my slot value of my pick was only $500.
But they have extra cash.
So now because they saved money earlier, they can take a high school guy later. Like I have a buddy who went to the Angels, Caden Dana. He just debuted a couple of years ago, or last year. And New York guy, he went in like the 10th or 11th round and signed for 1.5. Like there's like absurd MLB draft negotiations that happen, and like even like you'll see like UDFA guys get paid more than a guy who went in the 5th round. It's like the MLB draft is just crazy because there's a lot of negotiating, a lot of money slot values, saving money here, spending it elsewhere,
And then obviously also in your heads is both of your developments, like both of you with aspirations to play in the MLB. So you're also thinking like, is finding another college or going to the Rangers going to best put me on that trajectory right now? And probably you too, right? LSU.
Yeah.
Or going to the Pirates going to best put me in that trajectory.
And LSU had a coaching change like my junior year, senior year. Like they had Maneri, and then right before I signed, Maneri retires. Obviously came back with South Carolina, but Jay Johnson takes over and he calls me and I'm like, dude, I'm all in. Like we're good. As long as the offer's still there, I'm still coming. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But like I said, with like the injury, I think that was like one of the biggest things for me. And I also felt like me as a player, like I had a good sense of like pitchability. Like I had a good idea of how to pitch, but there was a lot of physical development that needed to happen. I feel like college is about winning. Like if you want to go learn how to win, you want to go learn how to compete, how to pitch, like you go to college, But if your physicality is not there, I feel like that option is either route. So I felt comfortable with the pro ball route, with the main focus being physicality and velocity, things like that.
Yeah. Like growing up on the physicality standpoint, how much did both of you lift and work on those traits, Keaney?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I started lifting probably freshman, sophomore year of high school, like not super early. I mean, I was just I was long, lengthy, skinny, but like I could move, so that's what put me in the best position. So like I was never really super, super strong until I found a gym. I was just kind of lifting, just doing normal, regular lifting stuff, not really an athlete lifting type of program or anything like that. And then when I got to the Rangers and I was seeing all of these lifts and I was like, holy smokes, like I've been kind of lifting totally different than what an athlete, what a baseball player should be lifting like. And then that was like after the 2022 kind of 3 months we were there after the draft, I found you guys and I was like, oh my goodness, like this place is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
like I wish I found this place earlier because I think it would have put me in a better position physically and, moving the right way. I feel like you guys do a great job with that. So like a lot of the stuff that the Rangers had me doing lifting wise were the same stuff you guys had me doing lifting. And I was like, this is a perfect place to be when I'm at home.
Yeah, Kennedy, you in terms of lifting?
Yeah, so like obviously like I had the knee injury at a really early age.
Yeah, we'll talk. Both of you guys have had some adversity with injuries.
So
too.
that was like my first introduction. So I went to play with All Stars.
Yep.
Right after Little League, and they're like, hey, like Corvino like has lifting. Like, why don't you try it out once you get healthy, that kind of thing. And like my rehab for my ACL was like not great or not as good as it should have been. So when my first day with Corvino, like I couldn't even do a box jump with like 12 inches. Like I couldn't even I had nothing in there. And that was when I realized like, man, like maybe there's a lot more in the tank. There's a lot of things that I can get better at. And similar to you where it was like a lot of generic, like not generic lifting, but like you really know what you need. Yeah. Like you see a mold of like what a pitcher should look like or what, but there's really no secret. There's a lot of assessment that comes into it. There's a lot of like, hey, you're deficient here or there. We need to get your movement patterns here. Like,
yeah, pitching is so tough. It's like Dan will probably speak more to it, but like because you have these overlying like physical qualities that help somebody be a better athlete. Like
Mm-hmm.
having more muscle mass is important. Having adequate range of motion in your joints is important.
Yeah.
But then it's like just with the arm overhead, and now you got to rotate.
Yeah, there's adaptations that you just can't really train.
Like Dan, in your head, if you have a brand new high school pitcher, never lifted before, what are your buckets you want to fill right away? Get real close, Dan. Get real close.
You
to
could probably pull the mic right to you.
High school pitcher, never lifted before.
Jordan, you got to unmute that mic. Or is it good?
Yeah, there's no sound in the
There's no
headphones.
sound in it with Dan. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna fix Dan's mic.
How about now?
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful,
Look at that.
Dan.
But yeah, I'd say you know
Holy, hello.
most high school pitchers or that come in and see us who have never lifted before are gonna see and I know velocity. It's like you got to work on just some general strength. These kids, see kids who maybe they move okay, but they can't even lift a 20-pound kettlebell. Just most of them, just general strength is like the biggest thing that we see coming in. A lot of them lack strength in their rotator cuff. They're usually really loose, have a ton of layback, can't control it. So like teaching them that there's more to just a couple J-band exercises here and there to strengthen those muscles. But yeah, overall high school pitchers, like most of them just come in and they're just generally foundationally weak.
And they have to gain.
Oh, and they all need to gain weight.
We all need to
Yeah.
eat.
I honestly,
Uncrustables?
how we've been doing this for how
Yes.
many years?
A long time.
Almost 8 years now. Has a high school pitcher who's untrained ever come in here and I'm like, oh no, you weigh plenty. I don't know if that's ever happened. Specifically, maybe a high school pitcher who says that that's all they do.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe someone who plays other positions, other sports,
Yeah.
maybe not even as much. But you can get a high school kid who comes in here and say, I play baseball, but I just pitch.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother conversation. But they all need to gain weight. And then they tell you, and I'll say, all right, what'd you have for breakfast? Oh, I didn't eat breakfast.
First
Well,
thing they
you're not
tell you is
eating.
that they eat a lot.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how much
I
they-
do eat a lot.
Yeah, how much do you
Always
eat?
full.
I eat so much food. I had like 7 double cheeseburgers the other day at McDonald's.
Fruity Pebbles.
And it's okay. Well, that's not the best, but like
But what if you're Dan Jones? Is that okay to do?
Well, I thrive on that. Double cheeseburger, Caesar salad, Coors Light. If you want to know how to,
Diet Coke.
longevity, Diet Coke. Diet Coke. But yeah,
If it's
most,
early, if you
most
need
of those
the
kids
caffeine.
come in and they and this is like for myself going into college, and even after college and doing what I do now, I look back at my time as a college athlete and a high school athlete. When I thought I was doing a lot, I was not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it was not, I wasn't lifting consistently, thinking that just throwing or this was going to make me better. I wasn't eating because I was one of those kids who said I was eating all this food, but most definitely not eating all this food. Going to college and then doing all the lifting, eating a little bit more, and be like, oh man, I gained some weight and some velocity, but then going home for the summer and then not doing those same things.
Right.
And as a high school kid, if I had had somebody kind of pointing me in a better direction,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'd be sitting in your guys'
No,
chairs,
but I think all that is the
I
maybe
never
not.
had a problem eating.
Yeah, maybe not the 7
big
quarter
boy thing.
pounders, but every once in a while.
Yeah.
But all that is really like the don't let all of the info on social media and the internet cloud that. Like, let's just make sure we're moving properly, getting stronger, gaining weight.
Well, it's what we've talked about on previous podcasts with almost anything related to fitness, sports, or anything is turn over the big rocks first.
Yes.
And then we focus on the little rocks. Like
Then-
if you don't flip over the big rocks, you're never like the little rocks aren't going to do anything. They're not going to move the big ones.
Because then pitching is unique because it's higher velocity like any sport. So we got to be able to then move fast and rotate well. So why am I not rotating well? Well, there's a plethora of reasons why you may not be: mobility, stability issues. And we have to figure that out and problem solve and try to put the puzzle together. But like if I'm trying to put together this puzzle that weighs 115 pounds and can't deadlift 135, I don't think it's worth my time putting that puzzle together until that baseline has been created. This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Mark Pro, the recovery tool of choice here at CDSF. Mark Pro is a portable, easy-to-use muscle stimulator we utilize to enhance recovery, prevent overuse injuries, and ultimately boost the performance of our athletes and active adults. Unlike a traditional TENS unit, the Mark Pro doesn't just mask your pain. Its patented technology works to improve circulation, flush lymphatic waste, and reduce soreness. The Mark Pro and Mark Pro Plus are used here at CDSF and trusted by players and trainers from all 30 MLB teams. Plus, the Mark Pro offers US-based one-on-one support for whenever you need help with how to use or when to use your unit. So recover like a pro by heading to markpro.com and using code CDSF for 10% off of Mark Pro, Mark Pro Plus, or Boost Pro Massage Gun. That is markpro.com. Use code CDSF for 10% off your order today. The supplement industry is like the Wild West. The lack of regulations mean the supplements you purchase may not even contain the ingredients listed on the label, which is why I get my daily vitamins and supplements from Thorne. Thorne vitamins and supplements are made without compromise. Quality ingredients ensure your body optimally absorbs and digests your daily supplements, while in-house and third-party testing ensure you're getting exactly what you paid for. Thorne offers a variety of health tests reviewed by board-certified physicians that evaluate your lifestyle, gut health, sleep, stress hormones, and metabolic markers to determine which vitamins and supplements may be most effective in helping you feel and perform better throughout the day. For college and professional athletes, Thorne has NSF-certified supplements that make sure you won't get positive on a drug test. Whether you're an athlete, professional, parent, grandparent, or weekend warrior, Thorne's selection of high-quality supplements can help improve your quality of life. Switch to Thorne's high-quality and extensively tested supplements today at thorne.com/u/CDSF. That's thorne.com/u/CDSF.
Yeah, patterning is only going to get you so far at that point.
Yeah, I think that's so. It's just, there's so many.
I
There's
mean,
just not enough force.
and up to a certain age, you just have to be honest with, like, we need to keep it simple until you can do all these simple things really well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and
Instead of getting, like Paul said, getting clouded by this drill or this exercise that you see on social media. Let's get really good at these basic, and it's not flashy, it's not fancy, but again, if you can't deadlift 135 or you look like a baby giraffe trying to do a split squat, like we got some work to do before we worry about some of this other stuff.
well, what's crazy too, because obviously everybody's chasing velo, and like for obviously good reason.
Like,
I saw-
boys, that was in your head a lot, or probably still is, velocity.
That is the one singular thing that has been said to me in every entry, exit, every single meeting I've had in pro ball is, we want you to throw harder. That's like,
Keaney?
Yeah, same. Yeah,
yeah,
same
So-
thing.
it's their favorite thing.
Yes.
What I was gonna say is, I saw like a graphic of this the other day. In 2019, there was 27,561 pitches thrown at 98 plus miles per hour. This past year, there was 51,597.
It's nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I go back further, like 2011, 13,826. And then in the graphic I saw, it was funny because it said, back in 2011, when you threw over 94, they put up the fire emoji.
Now it's what, 97?
98 plus.
98 is now the
98
fire
plus.
emoji?
51,000, over 51,000 pitches compared to 27,000 just 6
Yeah.
years ago.
And I would say, like, for younger kids, high school kids, like, we all go through those phases of, all right, we need to start throwing harder. Like, everybody, like, let's start throwing harder. Let's rip plyos. Let's lift as much as we can and see how hard we can throw. And I would say, like, that's important, but, like, not to the point where, like you see a lot of younger kids getting injured now because they're all, trying to throw hard and all that stuff. So I would say learn, if you want to pitch in college and pitch in the big leagues, like, learn how to pitch first, and then as you grow up and as you start eating more, and like that, the weight will come, the velo jumps will come. So I would say that's more important, is to learn how to pitch first, then worry about velo. Because I mean, velo and how hard you throw, like, that'll get you looked at. But if you can't pitch, that's not going to go as far. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wish
I
I could
agree.
drop my mic right now.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. What were the biggest eye-opening things for both of you when you start throwing in pro ball and you're facing batters? You go from, I'm sure you played on travel teams where you're facing more elite hitters, but like a Section 2 group of hitters versus now I'm seeing a professional roster.
Yeah. I would say like Section 2 is definitely gritty. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Guys are gritty. Like, I'll still say to this day, like, Austin France is the hardest at bat I've ever had. It's my shortstop, and that's because he's seen me so many times. But like in pro ball, it's not only like the thing that's weird is like they are so adamant about, hey, like we want you to be a big leaguer, so we want you to try this now, even though it might not work. So like for example, my rookie ball year, I'm facing a lot of players that like to chase, things like that. But they're like, we want you to throw your changeup more because you've thrown it 4 times this whole month. Like, so it's like, although I know I can get these guys out throwing sliders in the dirt, they're like, well, 2-3 years down the road, when you're facing an elite level hitter, you're going to need that weapon. You're going to need that arsenal. So the biggest eye-opening thing is how much focus in pro ball is about development more than results. Obviously, you get to the point where, like, you get to the higher levels, it's like you got to sink or float. But for me, like early on, it was really surprising. And to even see like how my arsenal has changed. Like when I first walked in the door and it was like I was throwing a gyro slider with maybe 6 inches of total movement to now a sweeper, or a traditional changeup to now a kick changeup. Like they would rather you fail miserably learning something new than you try and worry about your stats or try and worry about like, how well you're doing, I should say.
Right. And when you were talking about the college process and then with your injury, you even said, like, I knew going to college that was more about results.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the pros, they're investing in you. So, they're signing you to this contract and they have to try to develop you.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be some sort of attempt.
Yeah.
If they don't, then they're just throwing money away.
And there was times where, like, I was in rookie ball and, like, I was in extended spring, so these stats didn't matter. So, like, you can't find these online. But like, dude, I went out there. Yeah, look it up. Mike Kennedy gives up back-to-back home runs. Baltimore Orioles. Yeah. No, literally, like, there was times where it was like, I would, like, you get rocked, or like you give up back-to-back homers, you walk 4. Even this year, when I came back from the injury this year, the Guardians were experimenting with a 2-seam, like more of like a runner fastball. Tried it. I gave up like 8 runs in like a couple innings, and it's like, they're like, hey, like, we tried it. You know what I mean? Like, these stats don't matter. Like, we tried it. We now understand your profile works better like this. This is going to set you up better. So it's like, it's just self-discovery. And like you said, college ball, if you're giving up 8 runs in 2 innings, you're not pitching for 2 months. I gave up 8 runs in 2 innings, and I went back up to high A the next week. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to pitch every 4 days. You're going to pitch every 5 days. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think pro ball is really good for development, personal development, self-discovery, because they got to pitch you.
Right. Yeah, you too, Keaney.
I mean, that was the big thing for me, was that the development I'll get with the Rangers is better than anything you're really going to get in college, other than like the higher D1 Power 5
right,
schools.
But Mike's right, though. If you're at a higher Power 5, like a LSU or a Wake that has the pitching lab, but it's like, you're right, though, the leash is still short because they got to win games. So you could be doing all
shorter now.
You could be doing all these things that are great, 1-2 bad outings, and it's like, I'm sorry, buddy, we can't afford this anymore.
Because they got a boatload of arms. You know what I mean?
Right,
a boatload of arms, and you got, like we talked about earlier, you got a pool of transfers that are going to be coming in that you could get from JUCO, Division III, Division II, Division. There's so many guys out there.
Everybody's hungry.
If you're not doing it, somebody else can do it.
Mm-hmm.
How much, like you said, like developing your profile and your pitches and how they look, how much do you both like to use technology to help problem solve that versus not?
Yeah, I would say technology is important nowadays. I mean, it's becoming bigger and bigger every year. It seems like every year you get new numbers and new movement patterns of, what your body's doing. Like, the numbers will tell you way more than you think and what you need. Like, there's some numbers that you get where it's like,
what I do
all right,
with
that
this?
could be important, but like, not really.
Yeah.
So, but I would say numbers help. But I go back to, you need to learn how to pitch, hit your spots. You don't need to throw terribly hard, but like, you got to throw hard enough. But I would say numbers are important, but some people get too caught up in the numbers to where it's like they just spiral because like, oh, this number's not where it should be, and now I got to change everything in my mechanics and change how I pitch.
Yeah.
But like, that's what got you there, was high school. Like, I went through this phase of trying to change everything that I did, or change everything from high school. But like what I did in high school is what got me here. Like, why don't I just go back to those movement patterns and just do everything? And it was more freeing.
Yeah, it's very natural. I think like you're saying, like what got you there is important, because if you don't have a filter, and that's something that I've struggled with, you know, getting into pro ball and seeing how physical guys are, seeing how guys are moving, seeing like the differences, and it's like, well, how do I get to 95? How do I get to this? How do I get there? Like, and when you start chasing so many different, you know, carrots, like you're just gonna be running in circles. You're just gonna be a bunny rabbit hopping around. You're never gonna actually get better at one thing. Yeah. And that was something I struggled with, was like filtering, not getting fixated on, you know, something that really doesn't matter. And I think the numbers, dude, they throw grades on all of our pitches. Yeah. They know more than we could ever think they know about us. Every assessment they do, like they have so many different things they know about us. They will provide something that like we just have to trust. You know, we just have to execute. All right. But yeah, like every pitch we throw is graded. You know, on a stuff plus level, on a execution plus level. Like everything is already there. So like it's best to control what's natural for you, like you said. Because I tried to change a bunch of stuff too. Like my arm slot has gone from 4'8" to 5'8" throughout my career in pro ball, and it's like we're just now discovering which one works best. Like it's all gonna be thrown at you. You just gotta filter it and trust. You know, it's really hard to trust because it's your career, but it's important. You know.
Yeah, and to not overthink.
Yeah.
When it becomes your job, you're like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like having an escape, like not like in a bad way, like, oh, I need to run from this, but like having something else, you know. And I just started golfing a little bit. It's like that's been my new one, but like there's got to be something where you can turn the brain off. Mm-hmm. That's very important at all levels. Yeah. It can't become your entire existence based on your performance, you know?
Yeah, that's good. And your identity, right? Like baseball's been both of your things, and it still is your thing, and hopefully continues to be your thing. But yeah, it's important to have some identity piece of you that's not just like, I'm baseball.
Anna talked about it on her podcast. Like her junior year was a tough year for her. It was her worst year of college for statistically, and she said she had to like almost re-find herself outside of softball and who she was as not just a softball player. And you know, it's huge to understand that, recognize that, no matter what age you're at, you know, whether hopefully it's younger that you realize that, but you know, once you do, like finding those escapes are important.
Is fantasy football an okay escape?
Oh my gosh.
It gets stressful.
I think sending as many trades as I've sent at 1 a.m. is not great.
Was this the league you were showing me yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that league's we need to put that commissioner into.
We're 6 and 7 right now. 6-7.
6-7. Yeah. 6-7.
Oh, geez, here we go.
How many kids are gonna do that now?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't mess with that, the fantasy.
Dude, I'm even getting into hoop fantasy. I'm showing
dude,
these guys.
You can't go down that rabbit hole. I
Jordan,
went down that rabbit hole.
You can't go down that rabbit hole. Hoop fantasy, basketball.
No, I've done it before.
It's terrible.
It is terrible, and I also don't care about the NBA, so it's a double win.
Yeah. I've tried to do. I can't do anything that's not, because football is one game a week for every team. It's easy.
Yeah.
I tried basketball. I was like, can't do this. I've never tried baseball, and I don't even want to think about it. I feel like there's too many stats. Basketball is very simple.
Because baseball knows some ball, though.
They're playing every day, so you're just like, that's my fear. That's why I don't do fantasy football, because I feel like I get consumed with things, and it would be another thing to consume me and for me to stress
Sam
about.
would never see him on a Sunday.
There's no way.
He'd be glued to the TV watching it like, I got to make sure my guys are doing what they're doing.
Yeah, not a chance. Are you video game guys, either of you?
Yeah, I would say.
Both of you?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be. And that's a good outlet for guys. I would say a lot of guys in pro ball, like after practice, we're going home, we're gaming with the boys. Like that's our life, which is crazy to think about, but that's what it's come to.
What do you rip? What do you play?
Oh, Call of Duty.
Okay.
I mixed in some Fortnite here and there. MLB The Show.
Yep.
Yeah, all those.
I'm a big 2K guy. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like getting buckets because it's like I can compete in something, but it's not baseball, so it's like.
Yeah.
Did you play basketball in high school?
No, I blew my ACL out when I was 13.
Did you play before that though?
Yeah.
Okay. So you stopped playing basketball after the ACL?
Yeah, I stopped playing basketball and football. Decided to just long toss every day at JV practice, and it's kind of where the first velo jump was. Just launching balls around.
How did you tear your ACL?
Football. Non-contact, turf field over at Albany. It was last game of the year. I played like right tackle DN. Like I was like a bigger kid, and they were like, "Dude, like let's get you the ball in the fourth quarter."
And you were like, yeah, let's
You
go.
were so
Dude,
hyped.
dude, I was fired up. I've been wanting the ball all year. You know what I mean? I'm playing lineman. Like, give me the ball. I finally get a carry. I break it outside. I hit a little cut. Bang. Oh, felt it go. First carry in my career.
It's
so.
funny you say that because I remember my freshman year of football. I was playing O-line, and our fullback got hurt. He was like, we ran the wing tee, so he was basically our running back. And then our coach was like, "All right, dude, you're playing this game." I hadn't played it all season, and then I went off for like 100 yards in that game. It was great.
Go put your head down.
Yeah,
You know?
I was so hyped because I
Downhill.
played running back before. I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
we're back."
Yeah. No, I liked fullback. I liked hitting guys. You know, leading with the crown.
Oh, I definitely, I definitely would have been flagged.
Smart.
Yeah, I did football till I played in 8th grade, and then I went to like the first camp when I was a freshman, so Paul would have been a sophomore. And I was quarterback.
I don't remember this.
There's no need for you
Actually,
to.
no, I do now
This
remember
is
you playing
between-
quarterback.
I played quarterback like I wasn't fucking great, but all through like childhood and then into like modified. And then I went to the first JV my freshman year, and there was 2 guys who were like really good above me. And I came there, and one of the coaches like put his arms around me and was like, "I think you'd be good at special teams." I think that means I suck. Yeah, and I stopped. That was
It's
the
like,
last day.
I'm not
I ever
doing
played football.
2-a-days if I'm doing punt return. No way.
And I was like, okay, that's that.
Didn't help that the 2 guys that played quarterback, one was like 6'5", and one was like 6'1", 6'2". And,
Yeah, it's understandable why they made that decision.
Yeah.
you know,
But at least say like slot receiver,
Like, you could-
not
yeah.
Give me
special
some other
teams.
chance.
could have been
Yeah.
defensive back.
Yeah.
Like, you got the defensive back.
Yeah,
Though. You
like
could have
if,
done it.
like if
Cooper
he had,
DeJean, bro.
Yeah,
imagine if he had said that, like slot, would I have played football?
you might have.
Right? That would-
Yeah, you at
Maybe.
least might get a target. you know,
Maybe.
there.
Jordy, did you play
Just senior year.
just senior year?
Yeah, one
But
time.
you liked it.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always wanted to play. Didn't feel like I had an in, and then I was like, last chance. Not gonna play in college.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's
Slide
fun.
it closer, Jay. But you played Pop Warner with me growing up, right?
I mean, yeah, I was like 7 and 8 though.
Oh,
like,
right.
real young.
But do you remember when we played though? There's no way this is allowed now. They would do weigh-ins before the game.
Yeah,
You'd have like
I did the older lighter.
I had to my last year of Pop Warner before we could play modified sports. I had to literally strip down basically to my boxers to make. to
Yeah,
make
imagine
weight.
you look and you have like 10,
Dude.
11-year-olds just in their boxers walking into the shed
I
before
was,
the
I was
game.
literally in my boxers to make weight.
Right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's.
Wait, but
that's
I remember
was
like
the point of
spitting
that?
in a cup and like not eating, like dude, just so I can play.
There was like a weight limit because I worried about injuries.
I don't
with
think
bigger
spitting in a
kids and
cup's
things
gonna
like
move
that.
the dial at
I
all.
was trying to fast. I was doing everything possible, bro. I was eating too many potatoes as a kid. You know.
When we played, you only had to weigh in one time at the combine.
Yeah, you had to
So
weigh
you
in.
weighed in one time. So say the weight limit was 120 pounds.
Yeah.
If you weighed in 120 pounds at the combine, by the last game you could weigh 150 pounds.
Right.
So
It was literally just to make it for like at the remember it was the beginning of the year. In order for me to be able to play on the team, I had to make a certain.
Are
weight.
we sure it wasn't every game, Jay?
Mine was every week,
Mine wasn't every week.
No, we were every week. 'Cause
Yeah,
I remember
100%.
being at like away games, and there's the scale.
dude.
And
yeah.
there's Bubba Smith stripped down into the
Yeah,
shed.
and it'd be like someone on the other team's mom, and you're like, "What is going on here?" Like, oh.
Yeah, the days, man. Yeah, and I mean, you would do like the Oklahoma drills.
Oh, dude,
Listen, I'm
I
ready to
loved
line up.
hitting.
I'm ready to line up Oklahoma drills in here sometimes.
we got the turf.
Yeah, we got enough space. Yeah, and both of you, okay, we'll dial it back in. Go,
Yeah, I
Paul.
was gonna say,
no, you
yeah.
can.
Where are we at?
One last thing, I was talking the other day. I was like, if I was a teacher now, and I had a shithead kid in class, I would just pick the biggest kid in the class and go against them, and we line up for Oklahoma drills, and let's solve the problem.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be in a shithead anymore.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I wouldn't actually do that. Sorry, guys.
Do not employ him as a
Maybe.
teacher.
Maybe.
Keaney, were you other sports growing up?
Yeah, I'd say I played Pop Warner flag football growing up. I played basketball, baseball my whole life, I played basketball up until my senior year, which some days I fall back on. And
You regret not doing it?
yeah, but I'd say that senior year was kind of good for me to focus just on baseball and focus just on lifting and because I would lose a ton of weight in basketball season just because you're conditioning all that time. But I would say it is important for kids to play as many sports as you can for as long as you can because that's what helped me. staying athletic. And I would say guys that like are just pitchers growing up, like throughout high school, like it's kind of gets robotic a little bit, and you kind of get fixated on your mechanics and you wanting to move right. But I would say like basketball was big for me because like you're not making the same move at all. Like it's all different moves. Like you're moving your body in different ways, and I would say that's important. Like help me learn my body, learn the way I move, what I was strong in, and what I was weak in. I'd say that's big for kids.
Yeah, I agree. I obviously like had the injury side. I had to kind of focus. Like I had to do it early, but like even like being just a PO. Like I remember I wanted to be a PO so bad because
You wanted to.
Well, like when I was like 15, like we started going to the tournaments where like guys were starting to throw hard. I faced Dan and I'm like, bro, like nah. Anything over 85 was like, all right, come on. Like I'm not here for all this. Like I was a kid who was like in the cage doing the Yelich drill. Like I'm just doing like 3 swings trying to hit the plate. Like I never really like tried hitting, but it was like very beneficial. And it's like I couldn't imagine playing hoops at a high level or like playing football. Like the different movement, athleticism it requires. Like I think is important too for kids because it's like, yeah, I focused on it and like I was able to like get really good at it. But it's like there's some things that like Dan's gonna be a little bit better at than me because he had those years of training those movement patterns, certain jumping, certain running, and things like that. You know, so I definitely think it's beneficial.
I think the mentality you get with different sports too, and the different people you get to be around based on the team. Like obviously, if you're at a small school like we are, like you're gonna have similar teammates.
Yeah.
But like when you're at a bigger school, you might have completely different teammates, and then it's also like meshing as a football team and meshing as a basketball team or meshing as a baseball team are completely different. You know, there's different ways to get those people to work together and whatnot. So understanding that, like it's the physical side of it, but then also the mental side of like different aspects that come from it, and like the vision you get in different sports. Like, you know, like I listen to like Patrick Mahomes talk about how like a lot of his off-platform throws are because he was a baseball player.
Yeah.
His vision on the field and being able to see certain things is because he was a point guard in basketball. It's like you don't realize all these little skills that can translate over to other sports.
But with pitching, though, it is such a specific skill. I feel like at some point in time, you have to choose, okay, now I'm putting my eggs in that bucket. And yeah, for everybody, it's so different in terms of, I guess if you're, let's say, a sophomore, you have aspirations to pitch in college, and you're just not where you need to be, you probably got to start to shift over to working on that skill more.
Yeah.
And more time
Pitching's
working on it.
weird too because it's one of those skills that you can actually like practice way too much. Like you can't like if you're a hitter, you could take a few hundred swings every week.
Yeah, swing
maybe
till
more.
you're backwards.
I'm not hitters. I don't know what the threshold is for how many swings
But
you
it's
take.
higher.
But you can take a lot of swings every day and work on something every day. Whereas you can't go on the mound and just rip pitches at 100%.
But even in
like,
smaller, you could
every day.
you could take 50 hard swings on a back-to-back day and be fine. You can't throw 50 pitches at full intent and be back-to-back.
Which makes pitching that much more challenging of a skill to really master because you're like, yes, there's other things you can work on. You can throw just about every day. You can do these movements just about every day. When it comes to getting on a mound and throwing to it, you can't get on a mound and throw to a hitter every day.
Yeah.
And that's like makes it that much harder to really master
It's
it.
a very difficult thing to like know what to do. You know, like even like we have programs and things like that we get.
I feel like
couldn't
you and I
imagine.
have talked a lot so far this winter, just trying to organize your brain and your planning into like, let's keep this simple so you're not overthinking. And this is what you need to be working on. And let's just, acknowledge these are the things and let's work hard at these things. But there are so many.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dan, that's a good point where like if you want to get better at a specific skill, you do that specific skill. But pitching, you're going to increase the risk of injury if I'm doing that specific skill every day. So what are the other variables? Plyos, long toss, just dry drills with an aqua ball and movement patterning and strength training and mobility. And you're just like, whoa.
And then you also can't get so lost in that you forget to compete.
Yeah.
Because you have to know how to compete. If you want to be a pitcher at a higher level, but you don't know how to compete, you can pitch, but
You're not getting outs.
you're not getting out. Like, great, cool, you can throw hard, you can get it over the plate if there's nobody there. But the moment you got somebody going mano-a-mano, you got to be able to compete, and that can come from playing other sports. That can come from getting, into game-like situations as a pitcher. But like, you got to have that. You have to compete at some point. You can't just be in the cage all the time or be doing drills and fundamentals all the time. At some point, you got to put them in action.
Yeah.
Right. And I would say, like, with pitching and throwing, like, obviously you can't do it that much because you can get injured or whatever. So I would say, like, going back on the video games thing, like play MLB The Show. Like, I've heard some big league guys that play MLB The Show, and
I'm big on
it
this
helps
too.
helps
I'm big
them
on
on
this too.
pitching because
High
you
sweepers
can-
are good.
Yeah, and you can you can pick a guy that
Because your brain is in it. Like, what
It's
pitch
like-
am I throwing? What's the hitter like?
It's literally pitch tunneling and sequencing.
Yeah.
But it's also like how, like, when you play MLB The Show over and over and over again, some guys start to, all right, fastball up and in, change up low away. Like, you start to realize that you can become predictable. And like I said, with a high sweeper, or like the way that guys have different stuff, like you can use things in a funky way that a hitter, like, it just makes it uncomfortable. And I think that's like a real thing. And I like, in season, I play The Show a bunch because of that.
Well, I think just those sports games in general, I think about, for me growing up, I feel like my IQ for football at a young age and being able to understand plays from like Pop Warner, like being able to, I could have played any position because I knew what every position was doing.
right.
Reading
And
cover too.
It's because I played Madden
Yeah.
so fucking much
Yeah.
that I literally knew what every player on in every position was doing. So like I remember in high school at times my quarterback would call a play and like he knows what everybody's doing, but somebody might be like, shit, what am I doing? And I'd be like, you got this, go. And then we'd go and like
and
it helps.
And the show helps with like effective velocity. Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like where it's like if you made a grid of a strike zone, up and in is gonna be like +3 to 5 miles per hour, whereas low and away is like -3 to 5. So if I throw an 85 mile an hour fastball up and in, it's now like 90 to the hitter. Whereas if I throw it low away, the in terms of like swing plane and like swing timing, that fastball low away is now 80. So it's like you can make some separation between pitch velocities that weren't there before using effective velocity.
I'm using all this when I play the show next
Yeah,
time.
100%. Up is harder, low is slower. So it's like you throw a sweeper. If you have like a funky sweeper that's like 88, like Griffin Jacks throws a 90 mile per hour sweeper. You take him in the show right now, you throw sweepers up and in, I guarantee you guys are going to be totally confused. They're not going to hit it because it's now a 95 mile an hour sweeper.
Yeah.
So it's just like funky things like that you can learn,
This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Drink Alchemy. Fatigue and brain fog affect us all, destroying everything we pursue. Whether as an athlete, artist, creator, or entrepreneur, our mind holds the key to performing optimally. By combining the most potent organic nootropics found in nature, Drink Alchemy delivers sustainable boost to creativity, memory, energy, and focus in one epic beverage. Stop pumping your body full of excessive amounts of caffeine and unknown proprietary blends from other energy drinks, and get clean energy from Drink Alchemy's natural nootropics like lion's mane, L-theanine, and caffeine from green tea. Used by Olympians, D1 athletes, MMA fighters, and entrepreneurs, Drink Alchemy has become a huge part of my daily routine, making sure I'm functioning optimally during long days of coaching athletes, running CDSF, and getting in quality workouts myself. So do yourself a favor and ditch the energy drinks loaded with caffeine, other stimulants, and who knows what else, and head over to drinkalchemy.com today. Live with your mind unbound and save 10% off your order by using code CDSF at checkout. That's drinkalchemy.com, promo code CDSF for 10% off your order today. This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Bombas. Bombas makes my favorite pair of socks, hands down, alongside the most comfortable and durable underwear, t-shirts, and other everyday clothing staples. Their wide variety of sock lengths, colors, and patterns have you covered, whether you're working out, going out, or lounging at home. I love their merino wool blend athletic ankle sock for long days of coaching at CDSF and getting in workouts myself. And if I'm at home doing work around the house, you better believe I'm wearing my Bombas Sunday slippers with their comfy memory foam midsole. And when you buy from Bombas, you're also buying for those in need. For every item you purchase, Bombas donates one item to people in overnight shelters, transitional living facilities, rehab centers, Title I schools, and medical service professionals. Take my word, if you want to upgrade your sock game to one that's more comfortable, durable, fashionable, and charitable, head over to the Bombas link in this episode's description to browse their full collection of everyday wear, and don't forget to use code CDSF20 for 20% off your first order. This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Anchor and the all-new Anchor Pro, crafted to endure the most high-performance workouts without the high cost and space requirements of a standard cable machine. Named the best portable cable machine by Men's Health Home Gym Awards, Anchor provides the full functionality of a cable machine in one small space-saving unit. Designed with user-friendliness in mind, Anchor can simply be attached to any squat rack or placed on any wall in your home gym using its intuitive sliding track mount. With up to 65 pounds of resistance, Anchor is built for high speed and controlled exercises alike, from cable presses and rows to chops and lifts. The Anchor has been a game changer for us here at CDSF, and now you can enjoy the same professional quality cable machine in your own home gym by heading over to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. Get all the benefits of a cable machine without the high cost and installation fees. Enjoy the portable luxury and space-saving performance of Anchor today by going to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 at checkout. That's anchortraining.com, promo code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is VR too weird doing VR stuff?
I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say VR is becoming bigger. Like,
But it's still
The-
weird if you have those
it is.
goggles on.
The
yeah.
Win Reality or whatever, the swing stuff. Have you seen that? I've
Yeah.
seen that all over. the place.
Yeah, like our mental performance program in the Rangers org, like we started implementing the VR sets for like reaction time or like getting your mind
It's kind of fire.
like reaction time like before throwing program, like before you go out and pitch, because it like if you got like a noon or 1 o'clock game, like it's kind of like you wake up and then you got to go to the field and get ready, and you don't have all that time for like a 6 o'clock game to like get your mind ready. So the VR set, like doing reaction time stuff for, I don't know, like balls coming at you and you got to hit them and hit them. Like it gets your mind ready to then go compete.
Have you
It's
done
kinda
the thing
fire.
where it drops the?
Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, yeah. But games like that will help you get your mind ready for when you're ready to compete.
It's fire.
I mean, it makes sense. You're doing reaction time and like you're getting yourself mentally prepped to
Yeah,
get out on
I'm
the field.
stealing that. We're bringing that to the guards.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Remember,
it's a real
Paul?
thing now.
Remember a couple of years ago, Dan? Remember when we looked
Yes.
back there?
Yep,
Pierce
I know.
was doing a pitching lesson back there, and the dad was with his kid, and we looked back, and the dad's just standing there, like staring at like the net and that back door, and he's just got a VR set on.
It was the Apple one.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's he doing back there?
Yeah, it is crazy. It is fun watching people do stuff with the VR set, because like this guy
tightrope
looks
or
nuts
Yeah, like-
right
yeah,
now.
like-
Skyscraper.
Like like what's he looking at?
Yeah.
Hopefully
That's
it's
good.
just the skyscraper,
Yeah.
nothing more than that.
Rich, yeah.
Yeah, not
Oh,
in
yeah.
here, buddy.
You do a lot of things on there.
But okay, Kenny, you were 13 when you tore your ACL. I mean,
My
that's
13th
young.
birthday was my ACL surgery. November 30th on my 13th birthday. Yeah. It was a great gift. Expensive gift.
Yeah.
Expensive gift. 100%.
But you feel like from like I mean, that's hard as a 13-year-old to probably wrap your head around, right? And be
Yeah.
like, now I can't play stuff. And
Yeah. So like it was so weird. Like I feel like our brain guards us from things like when we were younger. So,
Yeah,
like,
it does
that
way
whole-
more.
That whole like 6 months is kind of like a blur to me.
But you're right. Your brain, when you're younger, I guess if you probably just haven't
Yeah.
encountered traumas in your life, which hopefully
Oh my
not that
gosh.
many when you're 13, maybe. But that you don't. It's harder to go to that worst case.
Yeah.
Like when you're older, it's like, oh God, this happened. Oh, this is gonna be the worst thing.
Yeah.
All these outcomes
If
are
I
gonna
got the
happen
news
because of it.
today, it would hit me harder than it did then. I remember like getting the news from the doctor, and he's like, "Dude, all right, like you tore your ACL and your medial meniscus needs to be repaired. You're gonna have to get surgery." And I remember like being like, "All right, like let's do it. Like I'm small little thing, and that's a serious surgery." I remember like my mom's bawling her eyes out, and I'm like, "All right, whatever. Like we'll do it." And it's like, you guys know me now, like every little thing I'm thinking about because I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
But it was like at that time I had
Do you
no
feel like
experience.
that's a piece of what makes you?
I think it's like, yeah, that I was so young that it was hard to battle that. Like I didn't realize until now, like I see my deficiencies. I see certain things that I move and I'm like, man, like that could be from that. Like there are like, I feel like it's only gotten more traumatic as I like try and develop that leg.
Yeah.
But it was like such a blessing at that time because, obviously we talked about multiple sports being a good thing, but like for me, I was not that guy. Like when I was 12, I wasn't even the best pitcher on my little league team. Like we had like Austin and Andrew, like they were throwing harder than me. They were striking out more guys. Like I wasn't that guy. And then I had it, and I couldn't play basketball, couldn't play football. And then that spring still wasn't cleared because it was like 6 months later, but I was ripping long toss. And it was a blessing in disguise because then, you know, I finally get cleared for summer. I go down to Florida with All-Stars, and like I hit like 84 at 13. And that was when Mike was like, he took me under his wing and was like, dude, I'm going to like hold you accountable, but like you have a shot at this. And it was like, it was a blessing in disguise. You know, it sucked, but it's what set me up for where I'm at.
And I think, unfortunately, because there's so much pressure on kids with youth sports and whatnot now, like it's harder for kids to have that mindset at 13, where they're like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna get it. I'll have this. Like they're more like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna fall behind. I'm gonna and it's like, dude, because we see it in here, even with like a minor thing where you don't need surgery, but you just need to take time off. You like that's the only way you're gonna get better.
I'm behind.
Yeah.
And like we see that now, and it's like, you know, I can only beat a dead horse so much, but like I can lead a horse to water, I can't make it drink. You know, so it's tough because you try to balance that and get kids to understand like, hey, it's okay to miss a little bit of time right now, because in the long run you'll be better off.
You're gonna get better at things while you're down.
But you know,
you can't.
Yeah.
You gotta choose.
You gotta put in the work.
Yes,
but,
correct.
You know.
Yeah. Well, and Keaney, so you had your Tommy John year 2 of Pro Ball. Yes or no?
Year 3. Or year 2.
Year 2.
Yeah.
Of Pro Ball.
Yeah, end of 24. Yeah, 4 days before my birthday.
So you missed
another great birthday present. Yeah.
You missed year 3.
Yeah.
Because you had surgery
This
after year
past
2.
year.
Yeah, this past year. Yeah. Yeah, I would say rehab process is like you learn a lot about yourself with that. I mean, obviously when you're young, it's different. Your mind's just kind of like, all right, I'm hurt. Let's go play some video games or whatever. And just time. But like as I'm older and like sitting down for a year and watching guys play, like
Sucks.
that sucks because it's like, oh my goodness, like I could be out there competing, or like I could be in a, you know, at an affiliate and having a great season, but now I'm here hurt and like it just it sucks. The process sucks, but you really do learn a lot about yourself. Like you learn, all right, this is really what I want to do, because for after surgery, like the first, obviously you have the brace, you're stuck in the brace for 6 weeks, and then after that you start getting little movements, but like you're almost doing the same thing, same movements, like your days are the same for
Groundhog Day.
almost 2 months.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my goodness, like it's gonna be the same day for 2 months, like what are we talking about? So you do learn a lot about yourself, like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to pursue this? Because it's not fun.
You get an appreciation for when you were playing.
Yeah,
and like just
100%.
like you're saying about not like being able to play and seeing others play, like it sucks so bad that you're like even like moving, like when you're talking about I can't hold a cup of coffee, like I couldn't walk, like those kind of things, like it's like debilitating because you're like, not only am I not playing at a high level, but I'm literally not even living at a high level. Like I am struggling like to do normal things.
Yeah, you don't realize the
taking
psychological
a shower
piece.
I had
like-
to fucking scoot down the stairs with my Achilles, bro.
Yeah,
Like it
stuff
was,
like that,
I
really.
could walk upstairs, but I couldn't
It
walk down
sucks.
them. Like it was.
But it makes you stronger.
Yeah, I wish for me, like with my injury, and obviously I'm not playing pro ball or anything, but like the mentality that I had going through, like I wish I could get somehow unlock. Like I got to find a way to unlock that, because I was getting after it so hard.
You were a beast.
With my rehab, my workouts, like everything. It was like I was because I was determined to get back on the play fucking adult flag football. But like I was determined. I was like, I had a timeline I really wanted to hit, which I did, and then like it was just like, but I'm like, I need to be able to unlock that. So do you feel like for you, Dan, or for you, obviously you were much younger, but you've been going through it.
Yeah, I've had others.
Like that there's like a switch that you feel flipped during your rehab.
Yeah.
As far as like how hard you're pushing yourself.
Yeah, and I would say you gotta be mindful of that, because you can push yourself too much. Like I was told, like I've been told by all of our trainers, like relax a little bit, like.
Well, yours is hard. I mean,
Not at the
both of you.
threshold.
But with
Yeah.
a TJ, with anything surgically repaired, like you're dealing with biology too, and like time just has to pass for things to heal. You can't really go against that.
Yeah, and it's like you're just sitting there and you're just like, all right, I got to in this brace and it's locked at 90 degrees, and now I just got to sit and wait, and I can't do anything. Like, you can't do any movements. It's like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
I would say like the switch, like, dude, like it's really easy to feel like sorry for yourself. You know what I mean? Like to be like a victim for like a little bit. But then like you're saying, where it's like the same day every day for 2 months, or the same day, realistically, like there's no difference in rehab training and like general training, where it's like, in my mind, I can become burnt out if I see this as the same day over and over, and feel sorry for myself, like, oh, I have to do this. But then there's like that little bit of gratitude when you do see a little bit of progress, where it's like, man, it took the same day every day to get to this point where I can now do this. Like that little bit each day is what allowed me to now be back to here. So it's like knowing that when I wake up, like there's a little bit to get better at, and that's like the biggest thing.
I've told Mike this. Like, I remember when I called him with my Achilles, like, I've never had a switch flip in my head. And, like, I think everybody's different, but, like, as soon as it happened, and obviously, again, context, I'm not a professional athlete.
You called me, and you called
my mother.
And the difference in responses
The difference
were?
in response was, I called my mom first. I go, Mom, I think I tore my Achilles. She's like, are you sure it's not just a sprained ankle? I'm like, no, Mom. I've sprained my ankle many times. I'm pretty sure I tore my Achilles. I call Mike. Mike, pretty sure I tore my Achilles. He's like, okay. Just keep me posted. Let me know.
Like, if you think so, that's a gone.
Yeah, like if you think you did. So, like, but when it happened, I looked around, on the field, and I'm like, nobody's around me. I know what happened. And in that moment, sitting on the field right after it happened, I was like, all right, I got to rehab. I'm going to have surgery. I'm going to rehab. I'm getting back on this football field.
Yeah.
Never had a switch flip so fast. And, like, you obviously have those days that suck and whatnot, especially I couldn't drive for 3 months. It was like, there's days that sucked. But, like, in general, like, I never felt, like, sorry for myself. It was like, okay, I'm going to figure out a way to make each day the best I can.
Right.
Facts.
Is what I got.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're throwing now, but not off the mound.
I was right before I came home in October for the off season. I had 4 bullpens, and then there was kind of really no point for me to really build up and do my whole bullpen progression, because it's going to be winter.
Check
like,
the box.
Yeah, we're not in the
season.
season, so they kind of shut me down for a little bit, and now I'm finally ramping back up and almost throwing at 100%. And then when I get back out there, we'll be mounds, and then next thing you know, it'll be live BP and spring training. We're getting after it right there.
Do you feel like looking
that,
back,
right?
like somebody you heard that? Yeah, that's either a ghost or somebody's right outside.
Kennedy and I both were like,
There is a graveyard right in the woods over there. 3 graves.
perfect.
Yeah,
Someone's
so
out
could
there.
could be. Do you feel like, thinking back to your TJ and your UCL, like, oh, I felt this for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story with a lot of guys.
Yeah. Some guys you hear, like, it's just like, because every pitcher's elbow gets tired.
Yeah,
and
there's
sore.
micro tears.
You're right,
in every
correct.
single-
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
So, I would say some guys, they blow out and it's one pitch and it's like, all right, blew out my UCL. Now we got to go to rehab. But I would say I felt elbow pain for a long time. Like, I mean, since I was 13, 14 years old, like, I always had some elbow soreness. And sometimes it was like, all right, is it actually
Something's
torn?
going on
Because it
here.
kind of
Yeah.
hurts a little bit
Like-
too much right now.
Young me in my career, working with baseball guys, so going back to like the early 2010s, like if somebody came to me with elbow pain, you go, well, okay, and if it wasn't a clear-cut TJ, it's like, well, okay, like, let's filter through some other variables, see what else it could be, maybe a pronator, maybe, let's look at mobility deficiencies. And now it's like, once somebody says that, I'm just like, refer out, let's go take a look at what's going on.
let's figure out what's going on.
So we don't waste years, and you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, is real. So both of you now, where is your trajectory now with the goal to get to the MLB? Is it different now than what you envisioned when you first signed and started playing? Or do you feel like, okay, I'm still on the same ladder that I envisioned it would be?
Do you want to go first? I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, I was when I got into pro ball, it was kind of like, all right, like 5-6 years, I'm gonna be in the bigs. Like,
What's the first contract you signed? For how long?
So you're technically like,
yeah, it depends on how old,
Yeah, so-
how old you are. Like, college guys sign a different contract than the high
Yeah.
school guys.
it
but
all has to do with the Rule 5 and the 40 man, I believe. But it's technically like 6 years. I think they have
I think it's 7.
7. Yeah,
Yeah,
7.
I think mine was a 7-year contract.
Yeah. So it's 7 years of minor league control. You're Rule 5 eligible after for us is 4 or 5.
5 years.
Rule
5
5
years.
means what? Somebody else can take you?
So Rule 5 has to do with the 40-man roster.
You have to be on the 40-man roster.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is actually I don't know about you, but this is my 40-man year coming up. So after this season, at the end of the year, the Guardians will have to either protect me on their 40-man or I'll become Rule 5 draft eligible, which would mean someone else can take me. There's different phases of the draft. Guys who are in AAA, they would get put right on the 40-man. Guys who are in the minor leagues would just get like picked up and put on another team.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of complicated things with that contract, but it's 7 years of control. You really don't make much. But
When you're drafted, it's 6.
yeah,
When you're drafted, it's 6 years.
and I think it's age related too.
It could be.
Yeah.
So if you're 18
MLB
or
rookie
under,
is 6-year deal for drafted players.
and then 18 and under is Rule 5 is 5 years. For college guys, I believe it's 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you were
you're that much
undrafted, so
older.
yours could have been different
Yeah.
being undrafted.
Yeah, could have been. Yeah.
But same path or
Trajectory.
different in terms of like, I'm going to pitch here, develop here, move up to
Yeah.
this level, go to that?
Yeah. I mean, I would. Yeah. Right when I got there, it was like, all right, 5-6 years, like I'm gonna be in the big leagues, and when you go through, I mean, 3-4 years, whatever, in pro ball, it's like everybody's path is different, and that's big on not comparing yourself to other people, because other people college guys like get there
can
and
fly.
then they're in high A, then they're in double A.
It'll fly.
Yeah, so it's like comparing yourself to other people is big. Like you can't fall on that. Like everybody's path's different. Like I've been in Arizona for my whole professional career right now, like in rookie ball, and it's about loving the grind, and every day is a new day, and you got to have fun, and this is our job, but you got to have fun. That's a big part.
You can
for
get
me.
burnt out and hate your life very easily if you're not having fun.
Yeah.
I think, like, for me, I was not very patient early on. Like, I remember there was a spring training bullpen with the Pirates my first year, and his name's Scott Ellerton. He's like one of the he's like the eyes for the coordinator. He played for the Pirates, big dude. And I remember him like coming up to me in one of my first bullpens and being like, "When do you think you'll debut?" And like, this is me, 17, like naive, like thinking I'm the shit. I was like, 2026, like 4 years from now, like I'm like I'm gonna be there. He's like, "Well, what do you think you need to do to get there?" And I just remember being like, I don't know. And like I had just thrown like 88 in my bullpen. Like I wasn't a big leaguer in that bullpen. You know what I mean? So it was like he had said that, and I didn't understand until like these past few years where it's like, and like I said about like, you have to be okay with failing to like become a big leaguer, because I guarantee you every big leaguer that's thrown right now didn't have the same stuff when they're in low A high. And for me, the trajectory is more about like improvement of stuff. I think like throwing harder is going to be a big unlock for me. Because like I've had good success, you know, so far in my career, like in terms of getting outs, in terms of like not walking guys. Like I've had great success with the ERA. Like all these stats are good, but like what keeps you in those lower levels is that your stuff might not be ready for AA. Your stuff might not be ready for AAA. And like there's just certain things that need to be done before you can get there. So I would say like throwing harder would be the biggest unlock for my trajectory. But yeah, it's a lot slower than you think, especially for a high schooler.
Yeah.
Like you just like you see like ETAs on MLB.com and you're like, dude, none of that stuff matters like at all.
But
Like,
what's that? They'll post the estimated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll,
Like
like
if you-
estimate how long you be
estimated
to big
time of
leagues.
arrival for
Yeah.
your big league debut.
Right.
And,
If
and
you-
it's like,
if you
bro,
go
there's
to-
10 pitchers listed for 2027. Like
Yeah.
that's not possible in a full year. Like
Yeah.
they already have 20. They have 13 pitchers on their MLB roster. Like we're not all debuting that year. So that's the thing where like you can't compare, because like my first 2 roommates in pro ball, the first one, college senior sign, was a football player, was lefty, like released within that first year. And then my next roommate just debuted this past year. Like there's no, you really don't know. Like you can't compare, because like there's also like the roster construction of like what kind of guys they need up there right
Well,
now.
right, and the organization must matter too, because like who's above you,
Right.
And like the Angels, Rockies, like those orgs are a little more aggressive because they kind of have to be. And then there's other orgs where like the Pirates, like Bubba Chandler debuted later in the year this year when his stuff was definitely ready. And it's like sometimes they want a guy to be like fully prepared to stay there, and sometimes they have a guy that they know hey, you're going to come up, you're going to piggyback, you might get sent back down, you know, you got 3 options. Like, you're going to piggyback one time, you're going to start another time. Like, there's some guys that have, like, a longer leash, or there's some guys that, you know, when they debut, it's expected that they stay there, and there's some guys that debut, it's like you're filling a spot while this guy's on the high out. So it's like it's very complicated. And like for me, like, you know, wanting to be a starter and like still, you know, being a starter, like there's worlds where like they come to you and they're like, hey, like we want you to piggyback. It's not going to affect your innings, but like we want you to piggyback because say, you know, 3 years from now we ask you to come up and debut, but it's not as a starter. Like you have to be ready to do that. So it's just like the preparedness is what controls the trajectory, and the stuff, I would say.
Yeah. Travel ball, you were all-stars.
Mm-hmm.
You were Keaney.
I was Gilderland for most of my years, and then I played with the Albany Dutchmen my senior summer before the draft, the collegiate league. So
Davey.
That's
Yeah.
a PGCBL.
PGCBL.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Davey. Yeah, I remember
Davey, shout out Davey.
Davey still
Shout
has the
out
record
Davey.
for most F-bombs on this podcast, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But how much do you feel? I mean, you spoke how Serbalic helped you, and like you feel like that was important for setting you up in terms of what travel team you chose to help set you up for where you are now.
It was eye-opening, I would say, because like, you know, you grow up playing against local guys, and then you start when you're 13. It's like, hey, we're gonna go to this tournament and you're like, damn, these boys from Florida throw hard. Or damn, like you start to see what the baseball world is like and how it's not, you know, you start to see like the big fish versus the small, you know, that kind of thing. But the other thing was the honesty, like from All Stars. Like they were always brutally honest, but also there with resources. Like if it was a holiday, I'm like, yo, like I'm supposed to do pull downs today. Doors were open. You know what I mean? They made sure that happened. So I would say like travel ball, you need someone who's honest and someone who can like put you in a position to like see, you know, what you're going to go up against in your graduating class.
Yeah, because families now, it's not like kids will try out for so many teams every year, and they're shuffling teams every year. And I don't know if it's probably, you know, the variables of, well, I didn't get playing time here, I don't like how I'm developing, or I feel like I'm not getting
Reps,
whatever I want. But it is an important decision. It's where you're going to spend a lot of time for your like skill development.
And your friends too.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you want to play with your brothers. Like you just want to. It's more fun. You don't want to, like, I've played for 5-star a couple times. I played for some of those big name teams, and it's like you show up, you get a jersey from this dude you never met, and you all kind of go play. And it's like you see a lot of great players doing that and play with a lot of great players, but like there's not as much of that brotherhood, like learning to win, compete, things like that.
What year were you on the Dutchman team?
22.
So your draft. Did you play at all then?
Yeah, I think I had like 6 starts. So
22.
His stats don't line up with Pierce's though. That's
Who would have been on
Right.
Paul? Who would have been on the
Pierce's
22
stud.
team that we would have had in here? I'm trying to go back.
22.
Throw us some names.
was
McCarroll.
was
Yeah,
was
McCarroll.
Bergevin on that team?
No.
Bergevin? Oh,
yeah,
Berge.
Yeah,
How do you say his last name?
Bergevin.
Oh, Matt. Yeah,
Matt,
yeah.
yep.
He was on
Yeah,
that.
so that was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
year.
Fairfield,
A lot of Colin McVeigh. I think he was a Maris kid.
Dude,
No,
He's right.
He's checking it out. He's right here.
Yeah, they all blend for me.
Ren too.
Ren. Yeah,
Okay,
Jack
that
Ren.
Ren.
Yeah, Ren and Sabres were both the two.
Sabres,
the two
yep.
Maris
Yeah,
guys
so
that
that
were on
was-
our
Arlo
team,
in
yeah.
that squad.
That was a
Arlo,
year that we
yeah,
had a lot of
Arlo.
guys.
Remember Arlo.
That was the last year where we had a lot.
Yeah, because you guys were. We had your logo on the side of our hats, and that's when I first learned about you guys.
Yeah, we Davey was just great. Like he helped us get our start in a lot of ways in here because he was one of the contacts. I think Stelz gave me his contact when Stelz knew I was moving back here. Just hey, connect with Davey. He'll help kind of introduce you to some people.
There he is, Daniel Keaney.
And the Dutchman.
Oh, on the Dutchman.
Yeah, Bergevin, whatever how you say his
Yeah.
name.
But yeah, then Davey did that 2018 summer.
Chase Carroll's on
Yeah.
that team.
Good
Yeah.
group.
That's a good group. It's a good group.
Yeah, we had that year was fun. Like, because I was a younger kid.
O'Neill was on that team too.
Connor.
From Manhattan.
Yeah, I was a younger kid, 17, and these guys were all college guys that have been there or that are much older than me. So it was kind of weird at first, but like the brotherhood of those guys in college is
Yeah,
Like
and-
opening up the locker room talk too. a little
Yeah,
bit. Like
it's-
Yeah.
some of the things you learn in these.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going with grown men as high schoolers.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It was
Yeah, Jay, I got that talk when I painted for Dad, and like Troy and all those guys worked for him, and I
Yeah.
would just work with them as like a 14-year-old, just the stuff you'd hear.
oh yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God, this is what happens, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, grow up quick.
Yeah. Jeez, buddy.
We had like 13 guys from that team in here.
Yeah.
You just got them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
awesome.
Davey was great. I mean, in the early years, which when we had and Dan can probably attest to this, when we had not many people in our doors, Davey gave us a marketing deal with Swap with the Dutchman and just kind of put all his players in the gym.
Yeah.
Which for us, like, and I worked with a ton of baseball players when I worked in Boston, so that wasn't new to me. It was just like, let's run it. But it gave us some quick notoriety, and it threw Dan into, because Dan, you did mostly personal training before you worked here, so one-on-one situations.
Yeah, and I worked with few baseball guys, but like it was anybody before that.
But that Davey helping us on that front then put Dan in front of full groups of baseball players every day in the first summer. So just to give Dan that experience of coaching in groups, coaching baseball players, doing programming was like huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So shout out to Davey for that.
Yeah.
And without that,
Pierce.
and then,
yeah,
and then Pierce.
we would have
Yeah.
we would probably not have
Pierce who works
Pierce
here.
here who works here.
Yeah.
I worked with Pierce a little bit over at All Stars too, 'cause he was there as well.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was on that team that we did that initial marketing swap with in 2018. He was one of the players that worked out here.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. That's why his name's on the 250 board.
Yeah, I see. I've
He'll,
seen
ne-
Pierce over
he'll
there.
never make it to 500.
Never. Yeah, boys, I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, it's fun.
This was fun.
Appreciate you having us.
No, thank you.
And we'll, hopefully, if we can do one next year, we can have a part 2 with some progress on where you guys are at. With,
Yeah, that'd be
with
cool.
everything.
Yeah, I like that.
Hopefully, you guys are making a step up in the organizations that you're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, hopefully we get pay raises.
Yes, please. The biggest pay early on for you get a signing bonus. Is
Yeah.
that the biggest?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Yeah, it's you get the bonus and then you get a salary. It's not much, but like the really cool thing about like minor league baseball now is that you get everything pretty much paid for. We have housing, we have food, we get like all this stuff.
has
paid
this
for.
changed since the last negotiation? This is some of the things that
think-
they were doing, or am I,
I think
wrong?
like we were one of the first few years of it.
because
Yeah.
they had
think
that
it
where
was-
they cut the
Mhm.
draft.
That was like,
Yep.
it was like
That was the
COVID,
start.
yeah, when they
we all
5
got
rounds.
pay raises then because they
Mhm.
cut 4 teams at each affiliate. They cut the amount of guys they could have in the U.S. at one time.
Yeah.
And then we all got raises. We all got like housing. Like they provide housing. They provide
Yeah,
a couple of meals a day.
Yeah, 2
Like,
meals a day, except for Sunday, obviously,
And
or
they reimburse
Monday,
you, too.
whenever your off day is.
If you're on the road, you're getting stipends and stuff. I remember my
Yeah.
first year, every road trip we took, like they paid me, and I didn't know I even had the account. And like I opened up the account, and I was able to buy like Drake floor tickets with it because I was like I saved it up. And I had no idea. Yeah, it was cool.
That's
Yeah.
like Drake floor tickets are better than when Dan and I were in college. You would get like $6 for a meal. So we'd go to the rest stop and everybody, and Dan would get his quarter
$7.
pounders. But
Oh,
I eat healthy. So I would want to go to Fresh City, and the like buffalo chicken sub was like, like $7. So
Yeah.
I can't even get what I want to get.
Yeah.
And then when we would go to Arizona, they would stipend you for the week, like whatever
Like
it was.
$150 or something
Every-
for
every-
8 days.
That's a DoorDash fee in
No,
itself.
everybody would just go buy like a log, like a bunch of tins of chewing tobacco with it right away.
The best part was on those road trips. We'd go to we're always stopping somewhere on the Mass Pike because they had pretty much everything was off the Pike when we were
Yeah.
traveling for college. And like Mike, they had a McDonald's, they had a Fresh City,
Boston
and like a
Market.
Papa Gino's or a Boston Market, whatever. Was it Papa
Yeah,
Gino's?
I don't know.
And so I would have to go buy food with the money they gave me, get a receipt to give to my coach, and then I'd have to use my own money to buy more food because I was a 20-year-old
And you
kid.
wanted-
I need more than a double cheeseburger.
You need 6, 7 of them.
6 or 7 of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
6 or 7.
Here we go again.
We always had to have the receipts, though. Mike, can you bless them with your story of the laundry?
When I was
the
a
laundry?
freshman, there was only 2 freshmen, I think, on the roster. So when we did our spring trip, we had to do all the bitch work. We had to do the laundry. We had to do all the equipment. So Milano and he gave us money to go to the laundromat and do all the laundry.
Mhm.
And he ended up giving us more than what it costs. So we went and bought like sodas or something. Like it was like just enough to do that.
Yeah.
And we bring him back to laundry, and he's like, "Where's my $6.15 of change?" I go, "How do you know?
The exact price.
Yeah, what we need to be giving you back."
That's funny.
And that's the life at the D3 level.
Yeah, I thought I would go there and get all this gear. I had to pay for every single thing that I got.
Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah, that's how that was.
We got a hat and socks every year. That was all we ever got.
That's just because you can't give those back.
Yeah. And we had to buy our own practice T-shirts.
That's wild.
Yeah, I really thought I was gonna come back swagged out on like Thanksgiving break, and it's like
Yeah.
not the case.
No.
Yeah, boys, thank you. This was great. Yeah, you get your workout in now, Kennedy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow too.
Yeah, right.
Let's go.
You'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, boys, appreciate you guys. Thank you, and we'll see everybody next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.